Picture this. It's Tuesday afternoon. One of your client employees, let's call her Sarah, she works in accounting, is trying to get a proposal out the door faster. She's already got her personal Gmail account open in Chrome. She opens a new tab and goes to Claude.ai, and she actually signs in with that same personal Gmail account and uploads a proposal draft. The draft has client names, it has contract values, it has the company's internal pricing model. Sarah isn't trying to do anything wrong here. She just wants to finish faster. She's heard a lot of great things about Claude AI. But within 30 seconds, that data has left your client security perimeter, processed on a server that your client never vetted, and through an account that you have zero visibility into. Nobody got an alert, nobody filed a ticket, and unless you're looking for it, you'll never know it happened. What I just described is a term called shadow AI, and it's happening inside your environment right now or the client tenants that you manage if you're an MSP. I'm Nick, this is T-365, and today's mission is all about changing that. We're going to talk about what shadow AI actually looks like in the wild, why it matters for MSP specifically, and I'm going to walk you through how to detect it using tools you may already have licensed in Microsoft 365. I consult with a lot of organizations today, and when I go in and I say, you know your users are copying and pasting data into AI tools that you don't manage, no one has ever actually disagreed with me on that statement. This isn't just ChatGPT or Claude either. We're talking about transcript tools, AI writing assistants, coding platforms, meeting summarizers. Microsoft actually has over 1,000 generative AI apps now cataloged in their inventory, and that is a growing list every week as existing SaaS tools bolt AI capabilities onto their existing products. Now, before we dive into the demo where I show you exactly how you can see the shadow AI going on in your organization today, let's first cover some of the prerequisites here so that you understand what you need in order to see this in Microsoft 365. There's actually this native solution built into Microsoft where you don't need a third-party agent, you don't need additional tooling, you don't need to deploy some type of web browser extension or anything like that. But there's a couple of boxes that you need to check. First and foremost is your licensing. This is something that we are getting with Defender for Cloud Apps. Specifically, it's called Cloud App Discovery. And this is something that you actually get with plans like Business Premium if you're an SMB customer. And then if you're an enterprise customer, you do need either E5 or an E5 add-on to be able to visualize this within your environment. So just note that before you get into it. The second requirement here is that your devices in your organization need to be enrolled in either Defender for Endpoint or Defender for Business. This is Microsoft's native EDR tool that they have, and it is something, again, that comes with Business Premium or is on the higher level plans in Enterprise. You can actually have this deployed in passive mode if you use a different third-party EDR tool. Benefit of that is that you can actually pull in this telemetry like all the shadow AI over the network here that users are accessing in their browsers, regardless of the browser that they're using. So it's very important, and I think it's a great security benefit, especially if you're already paying for this to have that being deployed. The scope of actually getting those devices enrolled in Defender is not part of this video, but I have made other videos on that that'll link in the video description here that you can check out. Now that you understand the prerequisites, let's actually dive back into the Microsoft portal so you can understand where to go to see the shadow AI in your organization.
Before we dive in, guys, just wanted to showcase a tool that I built called CloudCapsule. This is an automated security assessment tool for Microsoft. It's multi-tenant in nature. We do rapid scans of Microsoft 365 tenants and show you all the security findings across 365, so Intra, Exchange, Teams, and so on and so forth. We have all the key findings here that we identify, and we give you all of the steps to go in and remediate, and we actually have buttons now to go in and actually fix these right from our portal. But why it's helpful in the context of this video is we are actually in early access for our own shadow AI report. So you can actually run an investigation on any one of your downstream tenants, and you can see all the shadow AI use that's part of the organization. And you can actually click into one of these applications like Claude, and you can see all the users in the organization that have been accessing that, including the data volume that's going into that as well too. So you can better understand if there's a lot of upload or download. In most cases, you can naturally assume that, but you can actually show the customer that's real life as far as the application use case. And we're going beyond even just the regular chat tools here. And I think it's important for that because you can identify, browsers that use AI like Perplexity or, transcription tools or vibe coding apps, things like that might be in use here, Lovables in use within this organization as an example. And you can identify that to help get in front of those conversations with other tools that might be a little bit more compliant. So if this looks interesting and you guys want to get a demo or early access, definitely head over to cloudcapsule.io and book a demo with us today. Okay guys, so diving in here, we're in the Defender Admin Center. You go to security.microsoft.com. You do need to be an admin to be able to see this within your organization. If you go under the Cloud App section here, you can click into Cloud Discovery. If you don't see this tab, it means you don't have the correct licensing to be able to see it, just as a call out. But this will go through and you'll be able to see here all the apps that are in use, the IP addresses, users, devices, and traffic as well too. And so it's pretty interesting, just to see a list of these applications. This actually goes beyond generative AI. Generative AI is definitely the focus of this video today, but it is something, that, you can actually visualize in the sense of any other discovered apps here. So if I click on that, you can see a bunch of different tabs here for the categories that you'd be looking for as part of that. Generative AI is the one we're going to double click into today. But I think this is helpful just as a call out, like even seeing cloud storage apps that might be in use as part of this as well too, just for, again, other data considerations where you wouldn't want people going to Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, right? Particularly an example, if you're a Microsoft native shop, you want everybody uploading into OneDrive and SharePoint as an example of that. But then if I go into generative AI, this is where you can see this list of applications that's part of this. And these are ones, again, where you can click in. If I go to Claude here as well, what they do is actually they index this for basic security, metrics, things like that. And they give it a risk score here. So the higher the score, the better. In the sense of its, security in this particular case. If it's sub 5, it means that, it's getting a little bit outside the use case of best practice when it comes to, checks that they're making or compliance standards that this organization follows, things like that. So there's a whole nother video I could create on the actions you can take outside of this that actually does require a higher level licensing than just visibly seeing them. But I think this is so important, to be able to take your customer and show them, this data and these metrics, just so they understand there's a lot going on. That's not just assumptions, right? We understand that there's maybe a lot of people using Claude, and maybe we should look at a corporate account for that as well too. So this is the main section that I wanted to showcase here, that just shows all of those applications. The other area that you could look is under this app governance section here for the OAuth applications that are part of this as well. So you can look at Entra ID and you can see a list of these. This one actually does require, again, high level licensing to be able to see that. But this is where you actually get risk scores and you can see the list of applications that have been registered in the environment. This is also where you might be able to see any shadow AI that's been registered for OAuth, like a Claude. Again, that's actually saying that they've connected their Microsoft instance to Claude. And that's actually something that even a user account can do unless you have your settings locked down. So future video on that, but I just wanted to show you these two locations. And then the final location that's really brand new at the time of this recording, still in preview, is under the admin portal here for your environment. This is under agents, and you can click in and see the Shadow AI tab here. This is part of Microsoft's what they call Frontier program. This is a early access program. That's just another term for early access, and it's something that you can get into. But this is where they'll detect certain Shadow AI agents, and they're actually using an integration with Intune to be able to do this. So you can click on Start Detecting here, and whenever you go and you're an admin, these tabs will be lit up. I'm not activated as a full admin today. I just got read-only visibility just for the purposes of this demo. But whenever you select these, like configuring and detecting OpenClaw or blocking OpenClaw as an example, that's actually going to push configuration profiles into Intune for you. So I'm not going to show that fully because what I found is it's pretty buggy right now, at least at the time of this recording. Like I can't even hit the page to be able to see that. But I just wanted to point this out because it is super new and in early access and will likely develop over time. So by the time you're watching this video, maybe go check that out and see where it's at. I'll try to keep my blog and maybe do another video on this side whenever that becomes a little bit more GA availability.
Okay guys, so just a couple of field notes before we wrap up. Number one here, discovery is not enforcement. So what we walked through today is just giving you visibility into the cloud apps. We're not actually blocking anything with what I showed you today. You can do that with a term that Microsoft calls unsanctioning an application with Defender for Cloud Apps and the Defender for Endpoint SKUs that you would have. But those are only available, and that feature is only available if you're on the higher level plan, like the Defender Suite add-on, which is the E5 add-on for Business Premium, or E5 customers themselves here too, to be able to do that. Number two here is that there's not actually visibility into the delineation if a user is using their personal Gmail account or a corporate account here. So if you've got a corporate account set up for Claude or GPT, you still don't understand if users might be still leveraging a personal Gmail account on that with the visibility that I showed you in the Defender portal. There is settings that you can configure in Claude and GPT to actually direct network traffic and lock down personal account use within the environment itself. It's a little bit beyond the scope of this video, and I'll create a future video to walk through that as well. Number three here is just a 90-day window here of retention for what you're seeing within that portal. So if you're an internal technician taking a look at this or monitoring it, or if you're an MSP monitoring it for your clients, you may want to set a reminder here to include that as part of your QBRs and check that on a quarterly basis. Okay guys, so to wrap up here, Shadow AI is already inside your environment today or the client environment you manage if you're an MSP. The question is whether or not you can see it and are actively reporting back to the customer today. With Defender for Cloud Apps and with your existing licensing like Business Premium, with your enrolled endpoints, you have a native zero cost to enable detection layer that shows you every generative AI app in use, who's using it, and how much data is flowing through it. I think this is helpful not only to show the customer how there might be shadow AI, but I think there's a lot of benefits in talking about getting them into a corporate design flow for a managed account for Claude or GPT. In most cases, when I've done consulting, that's actually what I found is there's a lot of sprawl. We can actually just clean this up by providing users a corporate account that they can log into, and you have less use case there from them going outside the lines of compliance. This is your starting point, seeing it first, then you have the policy conversation with your customers and training conversations with users as well too. And licensing might look like you want to channel them into something more compliant like a Copilot with Microsoft 365. But again, you could go back to the corporate applications or corporate accounts for Claude or GPT as well too. If you want to see this across all of your tenants without logging into 50 different portals, definitely check out CloudCapsule. The Shadow AI report is part of our early access program right now. Links in the video description if you want to sign up for that, book a demo with us. We'll show you a little bit more of what that looks like under the hood. And if this video was useful, definitely hit subscribe. Next week, we're back with another mission. Until then, stay secure, and I'll see you guys next week.